Have you ever noticed that the more you try to be at peace, the more restless you become? That the days when you tell yourself I just want things to calm down are often the days your mind feels the loudest? Debts still sit in the background, worries don't pause, unhappiness doesn't politely wait its turn, and yet you're told that peace is something you should already have if you were doing life right. This creates a silent frustration, because you're not weak, you're exhausted from carrying too much while pretending you should feel fine. Inner peace is one of the most misunderstood ideas in personal growth. Many people believe it's something you reach once life becomes easier, once the debts are paid, once the worries disappear, once relationships stabilize, once happiness finally arrives. But that version of inner peace doesn't exist. Not because people are failing, but because life never pauses long enough to offer perfect conditions. Problems evolve, responsibilities shift, worries change their shape, and even when one struggle ends, another one quietly takes its place. This is why so many people chase peace and never feel it. They are waiting for permission from life to relax. And life never gives it. The truth is uncomfortable, but freeing. Inner peace is not the absence of trouble. It is the ability to remain internally stable while trouble exists. And that ability is not a personality trait. It is a skill. One that can be learned, practiced, and strengthened, even when money is tight, even when the future feels uncertain, even when happiness feels far away. Most inner conflict doesn't come from what happens to us. It comes from the constant mental resistance to what is already happening. The endless inner dialogue of this shouldn't be this way. I should be further by now. I can't afford this mistake. I don't know how I'll fix this. That resistance drains more energy than the problem itself. It keeps the nervous system permanently activated, always preparing for danger, always expecting collapse. The first step toward inner peace is not positivity. It is honesty. Honest acknowledgement of reality without emotional commentary. Saying to yourself, calmly and clearly, this is my situation right now. Not as a judgment. Not as a failure. Simply as a fact. Debt exists. Worry exists. Uncertainty exists. And the moment you stop fighting the fact that they exist, something subtle but powerful happens inside you. Your mind stops wasting energy on denial and panic, and that energy becomes available for clarity. Clarity doesn't mean answers appear instantly. It means your thoughts slow down enough to become usable. A stressed mind wants solutions immediately. A calm mind is willing to take the next correct step, even if it's small. Inner peace begins when you stop demanding certainty and start focusing on stability. One of the most practical ways to build that stability is to separate what you can influence today from what you cannot. Most anxiety comes from mentally living in future scenarios that are not happening yet. Bills that are due in months. Conversations that haven't occurred. Outcomes that haven't been decided. The mind treats all of this as immediate danger, even though none of it requires action right now. Inner peace grows when you train yourself to ask one grounded question. What is the next responsible action I can take today? Not the perfect action. Not the action that fixes everything. Just the next responsible one. A phone call. A document. A budget review. A difficult but necessary conversation. Peace doesn't come from solving your entire life. It comes from meeting today honestly and confidently. Another overlooked source of inner unrest is self-betrayal. Many people are exhausted not because life is hard, but because they constantly ignore their own limits. They say yes when they mean no. They avoid rest because it feels unproductive. They suppress emotions instead of processing them. Over time, this creates an internal split. A quiet feeling that you are not on your own side. Inner peace begins to return when your actions align with your inner truth. That doesn't mean quitting everything or making radical changes overnight. It means small acts of integrity. Keeping promises to yourself. Respecting your need for rest. Allowing yourself to feel disappointed without rushing to fix it. These small choices rebuild internal trust. And trust is the foundation of peace. There is also a deep misunderstanding about happiness that keeps people restless. Happiness is treated as a constant emotional state, something you should feel most of the time. But that expectation alone creates suffering. No emotional state is meant to be permanent. Peace is not joy. Peace is emotional spaciousness. The ability to experience sadness, worry, or frustration without being consumed by them. This is why people with fewer problems are not necessarily more peaceful. They simply haven't learned how to sit with discomfort. Meanwhile, people who have been through loss, debt, or long periods of uncertainty often develop a deeper calm, not because they enjoy hardship, but because they've learned that emotions are survivable. One powerful daily practice to cultivate this calm is intentional stillness. Not meditation as an abstract concept, but simple moments where you stop input. No phone. No music. No distractions. Just sitting, breathing, and allowing your thoughts to surface without chasing them. At first, this feels uncomfortable because it reveals the noise you've been avoiding. But over time, the noise softens. The mind learns that it doesn't need constant stimulation to feel safe. Inner peace is also deeply connected to meaning. When life feels chaotic, having a reason to endure restores balance. Meaning doesn't have to be grand. It can be responsibility, growth, providing for someone, becoming stronger through difficulty. When suffering is framed as pointless, it feels unbearable. When it's framed as part of a longer path, it becomes manageable. And finally, inner peace grows when you stop measuring your worth by external milestones. Many people are unhappy not because they are failing, but because they are comparing themselves to timelines that were never theirs. Peace arrives when you accept that your journey has its own rhythm, and that progress is not always visible, even when it is happening. This doesn't mean giving up ambition. It means removing self-hatred from the process. You can work toward improvement without attacking yourself every step of the way. In fact, sustainable change only happens from a place of internal safety. Inner peace is not something you wait for. It is something you practice. In the middle of debt. In the presence of worry. In moments of unhappiness. Not by escaping life, but by meeting it differently. If these reflections resonate with you, and you're looking for a space that focuses on real inner strength, discipline, clarity, and growth without false motivation, then this channel was created for you. Subscribe, and continue the journey toward a calmer, stronger, more grounded life, one honest step at a time.